it just is really calming. It's really affirming. You know you're not in alone, but like, but then you see, and to be able to just sit down and go through different things. One of the things that we've started to do, we've been talking about for a while, but Steve has really helped us incorporate into our plan, is a $2 million major gift campaign, and we're doing it. And so just those check-ins help us have perspective. Like, we may not be where we want to be, but we've made significant progress. So those check-ins are really affirming. And have I said calming? Calm's not a word I use too often, but have been really helpful. So I think that just that confidence that it's helping us to build that space to really be intentional, that is a lovely surprise.
I think hearing from another organizations, it was the feeling that we were not alone, that other organizations are going through the same thing, but because you don't talk about that, you really don't know. But this created the opportunity to talk about those issues, and we're like, oh, we're not alone in this thing.
What I'm noticing is the more the organization realizes how much the administrative piece is holding them back from what they could do, that there are all these, ooh, what if conversations that, I mean, are generated in every nonprofit with a passion. Like there's, oh, we could, and then it's like, but who's going to? And sometimes it's like, well, we have tons of volunteers, but you have to have somebody to coordinate them or it's not going to go anywhere. So there's that one little vital gravitational force position or person or whatever that needs to happen. And the bigger the organization, the more of those you need in different areas. But that's almost what's the spark in the engine that like lets everything else go. And when what I'm seeing with the organization I'm working with is that the more they recognize the power of those roles to enable everything else, the more they're able to make the direct connections to, well, if we have this, then we could. And then you start being able to paint the picture. So that's important to the communication piece. But then also it means that they start to relationship build with the people who love their mission. And they paint to them this picture of, as an organization, if we were healthy and whole and strong at our foundation, at our core, then we could, and it's that much more meaningful.
One of the things that I think has been really great is that within every plan, there has been, within the capacity improvement plans that we've been developing, there has been a diversity component in that. How are we looking at diversity, equity, inclusion through the lens of our senior program, through the lens of our dialogue operation, working with our faith partners, which are very diverse group of people, and how do we continue to do this work and in terms of DEI with our refugee work. And also just how we recruit our board, how we recruit our staff. That's been very important to Gifford. It's very important to us. It's something that we really promote when we work with various organizations. And I really appreciate that.
I thought it was a great opportunity for the board and the staff to put a lot of time into what for us is the mission. So we talk about the mission and how the mission reflect on our programs and how the mission will tell the story to everybody, and how the mission will help us to move forward. So putting a lot of time in reading and talking and meeting and discussing and agreeing and not agreeing, all of that, it was embracing disruption. So putting a lot of time into this at the end was for all of us a success.
I think it's fair to say that we all believe, staff, musicians, board, everybody, that we really want the orchestra to be here in 100 years. We're not just, I mean, we're planting seeds. We're selling tickets for concerts, things that we want to harvest very quickly, but things that we really want to benefit the community long term. So when the opportunity came up and it felt like it was, the Gifford felt confident that it was a time for Symphoria to be able to participate in it, to be going through what the community's been going through with COVID over the last 18 months. And and also be able to work on long-term strategy, to be thinking about things like governance and making investments that will pay off, not today necessarily, but in a year and a half, 5 years, 10 years. Just felt really good.
Put together a really strong team and go for it. This is life-changing. This is the opportunity to do deep work for your organization, to look at your finances, to look at your business plan, to look at your diversity plans. You'll have guidance and support every step of the way, and it will put everybody on the same page together, so that you can kind of move together as a united force. I can't recommend this program highly enough.
It's just so much. We've got 12 short videos to use as collateral about communication about the organization. We would have never done that without this program. We wouldn't have had the technical assistant funds. You know, we are doing some more things, putting the orchestra, small chamber groups into the community. We have support through the technical assistant funds to do those things. So it really, I know Gifford has these what if grants. For us, it's been that, well, we've always said we wanted to do it and now we can't. And so a way to kind of dip our toe in a way that's pretty risk-free, because we wouldn't have had the funds to do it without the technical assistance funds from the Gifford Foundation. So it's been totally worth it. I can't believe we're already this far into the program.